Praise the Lord, my dear friends. We are on the second Sunday in Easter, and today we also keep the feast of the Divine Mercy. A very happy feast to each and every one of you. Today in the second reading, we hear, according to His great mercy, He has caused us to be born again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead, to an inheritance that is imperishable, undefiled, and unfading, kept in heaven for you, who by God's power are guarded for a salvation ready to be revealed in the last time. It's a beautiful thought to have when we celebrate the feast of the Divine Mercy. According to His mercy, He has caused us to be reborn. It is in enabling us to be reborn that we see the mercy of God. And in the Gospel, we see Jesus breathing onto the apostles and telling them to receive the Holy Spirit. When we look at the creation account in the book of Genesis from chapter 2 verse 7, we see God forming man from the dust of the ground and breathing into them the breath of life. And after which we see what God formed becoming a living being, a human person. So we understand what exactly is human being. The dust of the earth plus the living breath of God, or the material reality and the breath of God, or the Spirit of God inside him. And after human beings committed sin, we see God telling the serpent that the serpent would crawl on his belly and dust shall be his food. Now we see what is dust. When human being is dust of the earth plus living breath, dust can be seen as human person without the breath of God. And the Lord said, dust shall be the food of the serpent. So human beings, when deprived the power of the Holy Spirit, the breath of God, will constantly be food for the evil one. And that is why God in His mercy sent Jesus into this world, who died for our sake, enabling us to be reborn, making us capable of possessing that inheritance that the Lord had originally planned for us. And what we notice, this recreation or rebirth is possible when we are filled with the Holy Spirit. And Jesus also said, as the Father sent me, so I sent you. How did the Father send Jesus? The Father sent Jesus onto this earth to die on the cross for humanity. And Jesus Himself said in John chapter 15 verse 13, there is no greater love that a person can have than to be willing to lay down his own life for his friends. And that is what He had done in His life. And then when He says, as the Father sent me, so I sent you, we know for certain that's exactly what the Lord expects from each one of us as well. He wants each one of us to be able to lay down our life for our friends, our neighbors, our family members, and so on. Here, laying down need not always mean dying like Jesus died on the cross. But we can lay down our life by spending our time for them, our energy for them, just by sitting beside them and listening to them, by spending our energy and our talents for doing some help for those friends or family members. We can find ways and means through which we can lay down our life for our friends and others. And such laying down is possible only with the power of the Holy Spirit. And what's beautiful, the Lord in His mercy cancels all our past failures and sinfulness through Jesus Christ, and is always willing to give us that power and capacity to be reborn into a new individual by the power of the Holy Spirit. So as we celebrate the feast of the Divine Mercy, let's thank this wonderful God who has been so merciful to us. And at the same time, let us also see how each one of us can lay down our life for our friends and family members as Jesus expects us to. May God bless each one of us.